morning, scientists. My name is Miss McDermott, and I am actually here with some guests from Mrs. Morrow and Mrs. Sands' classroom who are going to help us today. We have Ruby, we have Sophia, Aaron, and Benji. So they're going to help us with the experiment that you're also going to be doing today. Doug's going to walk us through step by step, and then they're going to go ahead and do it live, and then you will be following along with them, okay?
Teacher, turn off the lights, but also open any curtains or blinds so light comes in through the windows. You need a dark room with just one or two sources of light. A window is ideal, but if you don't have one, a lamp with a lampshade will also work.
So students at home, you need to get your science materials from yesterday. So Ruby, Sophia, Aaron, we can show them. You need your eye that you made yesterday. If you did not make it, go back to yesterday's video to make it. You need your index card. Okay, you need a window and your lights need to be turned off. Okay, all right. Everybody give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Awesome, okay, here we go.
It's time to experiment. Grab both parts of the eye and stand up. Then turn your body so one shoulder is pointed at the window. When everybody is in this position, go to the next step.
So you don't have to stand up for this part, but you need to be facing. So if you look at myself, like my shoulder is facing the window. Okay, so I'm next to my window and you need to have it so that you're facing a window. So you don't have to stand up. You just need to be next to a window to a certain point, okay? That's gonna make a big difference. And then when all of you are ready, give me a thumbs up.
Turn the eye so it's looking at the window. Hold the retina just behind it. Watch the retina as you move it farther away. Do you see anything on the retina? Keep experimenting until you see something interesting.
Ruby, do you see anything yet?
Yeah, it shows like a weird shape.
Okay.
It shows like a weird shape. And the farther away it is, it's clearer and then it gets blurrier again.
Interesting, Ruby. Okay, Aaron, do you see anything?
Yeah, I see a shadow of my curtains and blind.
Did you see a picture on the retina? If not, you might be too close or too far from the window. Change where you're standing and try again if you need to. Just remember, wherever you stand, make sure your eye model is looking at the window.
Aaron, what do you see?
I move my iPad closer and I'm holding it, and I really can't get a good picture.
Yeah, because that's a good point because it's too close to the window. So Aaron, you have to hold it with two hands and kind of step back and do it that way. How you doing, Ruby?
I think I'd found the sweet spot, but since my neighbor's roof is a little bit more down, I can't actually see anything in the reflection because the roof is covered with snow.
That's okay, but even if you see the roof or if you see something outside, even if you see the frame of the window, that's okay. Like even if you just see your window, then you're making it work.
I see
you're doing great. Benji, how's it going?
I just see the curtain and like it's like a shiny, like really shiny.
Yeah, that's perfect. That means you're finding like a great angle, Benji, and you can kind of see. And what happens, Benji, is if you pull it too close or too far, what happens?
It like gets like more blurrier.
Yeah, you're 100% right, Benji. And Ruby, you were both right. But you've got to, if you move the back of that card, sometimes it will be a perfect, really clear vision, and other times it's blurry. Sophia, any luck? Oh, good, Sophia, I'm so happy. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, Ruby.
Since there's a little bit of like trees in their yard, I can actually see like the trees.
That's so cool.
Make the picture on the retina as sharp as you can. Then make it blurry.
All scientists right now should be holding their eyes still closest to the window and moving their index card to try to sharpen the image and then make it blurry. All right, Ruby, did you get it?
I got it.
Oh my gosh. Sophia, do you want to go give it a try?
I'm in like the exact spot. So I can make it like as sharp as I can, and then all of a sudden make it blurry again.
That's awesome.
Discuss this question as a class.
Okay, so friends, if we're thinking about this question, it says, using the eye model, can you explain why some people have blurry vision and some people do not? What do you think? What's your guess, Ruby?
Because the back of the eye is a little bit too far from the front of the eye, so it's a little bit more blurry, while other people have more of the sharp vision.
Okay, excellent. Okay, Sophia.
Maybe they've been in the dark too long and then no light got inside the dark little room inside it.
It's really cold. All right.
Okay, Sophia, I really like that connection you made too with like the different types of lighting and the darkness. That was really good. Aaron and Benji, do you have anything or no?
I think it's because the retina might be a bit far, or the eye might be too close to the cornea lens.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see what Doug says.
Discuss this question as a class.
Okay, what do you think will happen if you take the cornea lens out of the eye? As Sophia is already a step ahead of us trying to figure out what will happen. Take the lens out and you put it up against the paper. Do you see anything on that paper? No. Aaron, did you see anything? No, you don't see anything.
Is that why people are blind?
Oh!
Take the cornea lens out of the eye and try to make a picture on the retina. Can you do it?
You can't do it.
So once you created your model, you were asked to do some experimenting with it in order to see how the eye works. Let me show you some things we found by experimenting with this eye model. So one thing you hopefully noticed is that when you get the back part of your eye model just the right distance from the front part of the eye model, presto, an image comes into focus at the very back. That is exactly what's going on inside the eye of a person who has great vision. The back of their eye is just the right distance from the front of their eye so that what they see is always in nice, sharp, crystal clear focus. But notice though that if the back of the eye is just even a little bit too close to the front of the eye, or if it's just a little bit too far from the front of the eye, then the image isn't focusing well anymore. Now the image looks blurry. You've just discovered a major reason why some people have blurry vision. Their eyeballs are just a little bit too long, like this, or a little bit too short, like this. Either way, they see the world as a bit blurry. The distance between the front of the eye and the back of the eye has to be just right to see clearly. If you do have blurry vision, luckily it was discovered that if you put another lens right in front of the cornea, you can correct this, making the image at the back of the eye nice and focused. Watch one more time, but this time pay close attention to the back of the eye. See, the extra lens makes the image clear. Does this seem familiar? This is what eyeglasses do. Glasses are just an extra lens in front of your eye that makes the image on the back of the eye sharp and clear instead of blurry. What about blind people though, like Tommy Edison? Why can't they see? Well, there are two main reasons that people can be blind. The first reason is that there's something wrong with the front of the eye, specifically the cornea lens. Hopefully you tried experimenting with not having a cornea lens. Without one, you don't see an image at all. Some people can actually be born this way, without a cornea lens that works. They have a cornea lens, it just looks like this. It might be cloudy instead of clear. This is how Tommy Edison's eyes look when he opens them. Without a working cornea lens, a person will only be able to tell light from dark. They won't be able to see objects, like that cat on the windowsill. So that's that the image on the back of your eye is upside down. Did you notice that? Oh, what's going on? This isn't a mistake in the model. This happens in real eyes too. If you're curious about why, you can find out more in the extras. I hope you had fun making your eye model, but don't take it home just yet. If you do the next lesson of Mystery Science, you'll need this model again. See you next time.
Okay, so Doug's right. The next 3 experiments, you're going to be using that eye model that you created from today, or from yesterday, sorry. But I just wanted to do a special thank you to Ruby, Benji, Aaron, and Sophia for coming in and being the guest scientists for today. Make sure that you finish your discussion post as well as keep your eye somewhere close. All right, everybody, can you give a wave?